Salutations everybody, it is Matty here today, and we are going to be talking about Dragon Age. Now, I love Dragon Age personally. Dragon Age Origins, unsurprisingly, one of my favorite games of all time. I'm shocked, Matty, an old school BioWare game is one of your favorite games of all time. Gee, tell me more. Anyway, BioWare's Dragon Age team is currently hiring a lot of people, says the creative director. Now, this news comes in hot right after there was a confirmation by a writer that a new Dragon Age is in the works. Returning to our original post about the hirings, the creative director says something is happening with Dragon Age, said Laidlaw to the 1099 podcast host Hosea Renaudin, I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name, before going on to say he and his team are hiring a lot of people at present. We certainly had plans for a Dragon Age 2, said Laidlaw, which I can't talk about, but it existed. Jade Empire 2 was talked about. It was certainly considered. I think it's still possible there could be a Jade 2. Hold the phone. Before we get into Dragon Age, hold the phone. You're telling me there could be a Jade Empire 2. Look, I get that modern BioWare isn't as good as old school BioWare, but still, Jade Empire is a hidden gem, dude. It is such a good game. I recently picked it up on the Steam sale because my viewers had been raving about it, saying, Matt, if you like old school BioWare, play Jade Empire, and it's got that action-y kind of combat system, but it's still got that dialogue tree from Knights of the Old Republic and so on, so it's beautiful. It's a wonderful game, and the fact that there might be a 2 is exciting, but what's also somewhat exciting is another Dragon Age game. And note how I said somewhat specifically for Dragon Age, and that's because I feel since Origins the series has progressively gone downhill. I think there is a common agreement amongst people that Dragon Age 2 was a big misstep. I think perhaps a little over-criticized now, but at the time of its release, yeah, it was a very poor follow-up for Dragon Age Origins. And then Inquisition tried to do a best of both worlds, really mix in that role-playing, that choice and consequence. The combat system was also an attempt at a best of both worlds between the Origins and 2 system. So for me personally, Inquisition didn't hit quite right. For a lot of people, it did. I really think that game was one of the most disappointing games I've played in recent memory. Because of its MMO quest structure, I just couldn't believe the title I was playing was a Dragon Age game. I know that BioWare has learned from those mistakes. They have openly come out and admit them. So for me personally, when it comes to a new Dragon Age game, I have to say, despite it being a modern BioWare, I am a little more optimistic, because if Andromeda showed anything, it's that they did learn when it came to side quests. They weren't amazing, they weren't anything to write home about. In fact, I don't have any specifically memorable experiences, but all I can say is I enjoyed the hell out of them a lot more than Inquisition. Now, I know that's kind of like saying, you know, I had this turd of side quests and then I had a polished turd of side quests right next to it, which would be Andromeda, but still, point being is that they were improving, so if that gradual improvement continues, perhaps this new Dragon Age game can be awesome. The question is it time for a new Dragon Age game? And I think absolutely. It's been since 2014. They're hiring a lot of people. That means it's well underway. I think it's given us enough time to really miss Dragon Age, where despite my feelings on Inquisition, I'm ready to move on and I'm ready to try a new Dragon Age adventure. I'll always be open to playing new BioWare games. That's no secret here. We don't know anything about the game. We don't know anything about the mechanics or anything. Just the idea that there's a brand new Dragon Age in the works. So I'm personally at the standpoint of I'm not going to get too hyped. I'm not going to downplay this at all. I'm just going to go based off what BioWare has done in the past, and specifically with the Dragon Age franchise, which has been amazing, incredible start, very mediocre follow-up, and then, in my opinion, a very disappointing follow-up, but for others, a really worthy follow-up. But I don't know if that was in comparison to Dragon Age 2 or if people just thought it was a really good game alone, but I think it's more like both of those mixed together. But hey man, if you like the Inquisition, more power to you. I wish I were you. I really do, because I want to like that game a lot, but I just can't. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that will do it for me for this video. A new Dragon Age game is on the way. How exciting is that? Let me know in the comments down below. Other than that, follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook. Those links are in the description down below, along with my Patreon. Do consider supporting that, as it fuels all the content we create here. Other than that, stay sexy, stay active. I love you all. Peace.